Well, tonight, Parliament is once again on the spot. Its ability to effectively undertake its oversight role is in question.
And it is not the first time the 12th Parliament has been labelled weak, and the National Assembly Speaker has acknowledged it.
However, it is the insinuation that there are guns for hire in the august House and the consequent that have everyone on edge, as Ken Mijungu reports.
The National Assembly's oversight role has come under questions, with serious allegations flying around. In just 7 months, the 12th Parliament has earned a place among public bodies that are seemingly unable to stand for the public. It has taken to rubber stamping laws formulated by the executive with regularity, and the debate within has substantially dropped in quality.
Even as we speak now, this Parliament has no capacity to oversight institutions. It was compromised by the executive.
Alfred Keter, a second-term member of Parliament currently fighting to retain his seat, is one of those who have bore the brunt of the executive impunity in the House. Together with 3 of his colleagues, he was forcefully removed from the chairmanship and a seat in one of the key oversight committees by way of executive fiat. For the 12th Parliament, this was the first time the executive arm successfully meddled in its affairs.
We follow the standing orders, we follow the constitution, but surprisingly, members were called to State House and they were told to remove us through vote of no confidence.
We cannot afford to let it go the Goldenberg way.
Recently, a committee of the House was accused of soliciting bribes during a probe into suspect government payments for land that was allegedly public in Ruaraka. Legislators openly take sides according to political affiliations when probing issues of national importance, as was the case when Interior and National Coordination Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i was summoned to answer questions on the Miguna deportation saga.
At that time, the option available for government was to charge him in a court of law or to deport him.
MPs in committees are accused of having lost the plot, either asking frivolous questions or allowing vague answers to the questions. In other instances, the subjects, especially top-ranking government officers, have turned the heat on the legislators.
You know, honorable members, there's something I would like to ask all of us in that same sense of collective responsibility of government.
We are part of the problem. Instead of solving the problems, we are part of the problem.
In the last Parliament, a subject under investigation watched in dismay as legislators turned against each other in her defense.
30 billion shillings a year. That translates to about 150 billion shillings by the time the life of the current Parliament expires. The question is, do you get value for that kind of money you spend on them to oversight?
Majority of members of Parliament who are genuine, who really want to oversight national government, have lost hope. The genuine ones who really want to oversight. But the cartels who are part of the cartels and the thieves here, the dark forces that have been saying, are the ones stealing the show, running the committees and running Parliament.
In 2015, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, is quoted as describing what goes on in Parliament as juvenile conduct and saying that the management of House committees raises serious questions of integrity. Over the weekend, while speaking to a forum of journalists, the Speaker said the composition of the National Assembly may be to blame even for the quality of debates and the conduct of the members. Ken Mijungu, NTV.